Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I am Destiny, the host of Decimania on YouTube, and I have a really fun review to do today. I meant to do this yesterday, but I was just kind of freaking drained, and I was just not feeling good. Still not, but I'm just gonna do it anyway today. But I watched my first, streamed my first TNA pay-per-view on Thursday. Or Friday, rather. I watched Against All Odds 2023, and I thought it was a relatively good show. I really did. So going forward, just a quick announcement before I start the video, or the review. If you're a fan of Impact Wrestling, or wrestling in general, this is good news for you, because I will be doing more Impact Wrestling, TNA, whatever you want to call it, related content. I will be reviewing the weekly show and pay-per-views on this channel going forward, because I am now an Ultimate Impact Insider on YouTube. So, look forward to that. Now, start off with the first match. It was Frankie Kazarian and Eddie Edwards. I'm not going to review the pre-shows because I don't really care for them much. Unless it's like a Hall of Fame induction, I'm not going to review it. Or unless something really crazy happens on the pre-show. So, Frankie Kazarian and Eddie Edwards had a match. And I don't remember, I looked away for a second because I was having problems with my phone casting to my TV. Did Tracy Brooks interfere in that match? For those of you that watched the pay-per-view, didn't she come out and take out Alicia Edwards, that's Eddie's wife? Tracy Brooks, obviously Kazarian's wife. Did Tracy come out during that, or did she just get ejected from ringside? Because I know Alicia got ejected from ringside when she tried to get up on the ring apron and distract Kazarian, but nonetheless, Kazarian won when that happened. It was a relatively good match. Not much to it. I mean, it was fine. I like Frankie Kazarian. TNA original. There's a theme here, if you'll notice, on this show, starting with Kazarian. So, let's see. Then it was, I think we got a backstage promo from either Magnus or Bully Ray. We got one from somebody. I think it was Bully. I don't remember. I was having trouble with my Comcast, or my TV, but one of them got a backstage promo. And then we had the dog collar match between Killer Kelly and Masha Slamovich. That's the first time I've ever seen a women's dog collar or a chain match. So, for those of you that haven't seen a dog collar match or know what that is, basically, you take one of those thick chain dog collars. You're connected by the neck to the person with the chain, and you just use it to freaking beat the crap out of each other with it. I've seen a couple. I've seen the one with CM Punk and Raven. I haven't seen the one with him and MJF yet. FTR and the Briscoes had a match last year before Jay died, but I haven't seen that one yet. Might have seen another one with Raven, I don't remember. But this was a brutal match. I don't know, this one's up there with Steve Maclin and PCO, which I'll talk about Steve Maclin again later, but that one was freaking brutal and Under Siege. Like, Steve Maclin bled buckets. And for those people calling him a jobber, I don't think he's a jobber. Just because he's faced main eventers, before. But talk more about that later. Didn't really catch any significant moments of this match. I just know that it was really brutal. It just kind of was one of those things where I didn't really know what was going on in their feud. I didn't really know they were feuding because I haven't been able to actually watch it, which I'll be able to do more now that I can watch Impact every week now, live. This is probably the only one I could probably watch live now, but I think there was the one spot where Macha Slamovich took the chain and hit Killer Kelly with it and like hit her in the throat with it. She did something else, but that won her the match. She won. It was a brutal match. Not really much to say about it because I didn't really pay attention to their feud. But then there was the tag team match between the Bullet Club and I believe it was Subculture, if I'm not mistaken. I forget who the other one is in Subculture. It's Mark Andrews and somebody else against Ace Austin and Chris Bay. They're pretty good. You know, they kind of remind me of the Motor City Machine Guns, which I'm talking about them a lot in this review. But yeah, it was Subculture and Ace Austin. Like the previous one, it was a good match. I like this match better. I like the tag team match a little better, but you know, it was fun. Sorry, my allergies are acting up again, but nonetheless. Ace Austin and Chris Bay are still your tag team champions. I forget who are the. Is it the North or is it Beer Money that are the longest reigning? I think it's the North. I think they broke Beer Money's record. I forget what their record was, but I wouldn't mind if Ace Austin and Chris Bay broke it. You know, I wouldn't mind if they broke the record, but you know. Then was the X Division Championship match. This is a rematch from Under Siege last month. Or earlier this month, actually. No, it was last month. Sorry, I keep forgetting this is June. But it was a rematch between defending X Division champion and former 8-time X Division champion, Chris Sabin. Now, in the previous match, Trey got a bottle of spray paint or a can of spray paint and blinded Trey while the referee was down. This time he tried to use it and the referee caught him. Sabin was using a lot of old TNA moves, like he used Jay Lethal's move, Lethal Combination, he used Angel's Wings, which was Christopher Daniels' move, and then he used the Styles Clash. Obviously, AJ Styles. So that was kind of cool. And I know there's going to be the people out there that are going to be like, oh, why is he using, do something innovative. Like, what? Yeah. He has his own moves. And yes, he used them. But why can't you pay tribute in a match to somebody every once in a while? What the frick? Leave him alone. I know there's going to be people like that. I was just throwing it out there, but Trey goes to get there he hits the, I don't know if it's Sabin who actually accidentally hits the referee or if it's Trey, but somebody hits the referee or something happens and Trey goes to get the spray paint from outside the ring and oh no, he doesn't get hit. The ref catches it and then I think Sabin backfires. He sprays it and Trey sprays it in Saban's face, and then he gets water and like starts wiping it out of his eyes. So then he hits Saban does. He hits the Styles Clash. Not enough to pin him. He can't put him away. And then he hits the clothesline from Hell, Michigan, which, yeah, that's a play off of JBL's move, but it makes sense here because he's from freaking Michigan. Saban is. And then he hits the Cradle Shock for the victory, and Chris Sabin is your 9-time X Division champion, which that was cool. That's cool to see. I'm gonna get it. He's just extending his own record. I get it, but you'll see why it was cool later on. Then we had I believe it was the 8-4-1 match to determine the number one contender. So this was kind of interesting. An interesting scenario. So it was an 8-man tag. It started off as an 8-man tag team match, and then the winning team would go on to face off in a fatal 4-way match immediately following. And then the winner of that match would go on to face the champion of Slammiversary. Now in this match we had, on one team it was Bully Ray, Nick Aldis, Heath Slater, and Jonathan Gresham. Then on another team it was Moose, PCO, Rich Swann, and who else was on it? Crap. Hold on. Who freaking else was on their team? Oh, I cannot remember who was on this team. Let's see. It was Magnus, Jonathan Gresham, Heath, and Bully against PCO, Rich Swann, Moose, and Speedball Mike Bailey. That's who it was. And this was a good match. This is an interesting concept. So basically, half of these guys are heels, half of these guys are baby faces. And for those of you who don't know what that is, heel is bad guy in wrestling, and babyface is good guy in wrestling. I don't know why they didn't put the faces on one team and heels on one team, but I guess it was interesting because they did this whole thing where can they coexist? And then, whatever. But Bully starts getting in there, starts smacking people around, Speedball Mike Bailey, and this is a good match. Bully's team did end up winning, and then I forget, was it during this or during the Fatal 4-Way match where Scott D'Amore came out and hit him with a steel chair? Like, he hit Bully with a chair. Look, I have a problem with this. I get that you're continuing the feud between Bully and, I guess, Scott D'Amore. You're doing the typical wrestler versus authority figure storyline. But, Scott really can't do anything. But, this is my problem with this. I'm fine if you want to do the chair shot and everything, but why do it here? Like, so, if you guys didn't watch Under Siege, or if you remember what happened, if you did, Steve Macklin demanded, after he won his match with PCO, that he wanted Scott D'Amore to come out and strap the title belt around his waist, personally. And Steve Macklin won. So he came out, Scott did, puts the title around his waist. Bully Ray comes out of the crowd and hits him, starts beating the crap out of him, and then he takes out PCO, who came out, tried to help Scott, and then freaking Steve Macklin and Bully Ray put Scott D'Amore through a flaming table. My problem with this is you just got put through a flaming table 2-3 weeks ago. Why are you not at home? I wish they would do a good job of selling this. Make Scott be gone for a while, like off screen for a while. Get isn't Santino the authority figure now, I think? Or when Tommy Dreamer comes back, have him be the on-screen commissioner or something. So this kind of thing doesn't happen again. But that's my only problem with it. But other than that, it was a good match. Bully's team ended up winning the 8-man tag, and then it looked like Heath was gonna win it a couple times. He got the wake up call on, I think it was Gresham, and then Magnus broke it up. Sorry, I keep calling him Magnus. I know it's Nick Aldis now, but I remember him as Magnus. But Heath almost wins this. And then there's a spot where the closing minutes of the match where Heath has him in, or Jonathan Gresham has him in a submission. He gets out of it, and then Magnus comes in and gets him in the Kingsland Cloverleaf, and Heath ends up tapping out. So Magnus will be going on to Slammiversary as the number 1 contender. This was good. I like the Fatal 4-Way match better, but this was good. They really made this look like it could go either way in this. This was good. I liked it. Then we had it was Deonna Purrazzo and Trinity versus Giselle Shaw and Savannah Evans. Now, Trinity, for those of you that don't know, is the former Naomi. She is the wife of Jimmy Uso. So, it's kind of cool to see her in TNA. But, the whole story of this was that Deonna and Trinity had never teamed up, and neither had Giselle Shaw and Savannah Evans. And I didn't pay too much attention to this match. I watched it. I'm familiar with Trinity and Deonna. I'm familiar with all 4 of them. It's just, I was kind of getting a little bit tired, but I stayed with it. I stayed till the end of the pay-per-view. And couldn't get to sleep anyway. Just laid there for an hour or 2, but Deonna and Trinity end up winning, and then after the match, Giselle and Savannah start attacking Deonna, and Trinity comes in and hits them both with a knee lift. Knees them both in the face. So, basically why she did that was because she is going to be facing Deonna at Slammiversary for the Knockouts, or TNA's version of the Women's Championship. So that's why that happened. Next we had the Ohio Street Fight, because they were in Columbus, between Sami Callihan, Jake Crist, and Madman Fulton against Cody Deaner, Khan, and Alan Angels of Violent by Design. I keep forgetting Eric Young's not with them anymore. But I almost said Eric Young, but this was brutal too. Not as brutal as the freaking Steve Macklin match at Under Siege, but it was brutal nonetheless. The freaking staple gun was used in this match too, like it was that one. I forget who used it, but the staple gun was used. Oh, frick. So much stuff was used in this match. Honestly, there wasn't, like the Edge and Finn Balor match, there wasn't really a pinpoint moment for me where I was like, oh wow, that was freaking cool, or that was standout. I mean, don't get me wrong, the match was good, but there wasn't that one moment that I'm like, oh man, I gotta watch that again because it was like brutal. Even though I will probably go watch this pay-per-view again at some point, but Sammy and company win. Sammy Callahan, who is from Ohio, so that's kind of cool. Now, this is the match that people are either going to be happy with, or you're going to have those people that are going to complain because they're not pushing new talent or whatever, but I'm just going to say this right now. This next match, look, this match and the X Division title matches were my favorite matches on the card. Not the Ohio Valley Street Fight, but the main event. And you'll find out why in a minute. Steve Maclin defended the Impact World Heavyweight Championship against the other half of the Motor City Machine Guns, Alex Shelley. Great night for the Motor City Machine Guns. This was a good match. I watched this match actually back yesterday so I could watch it. It was good. It was great. They gave these guys maybe 20 minutes. And I know there's going to be the people out there that are going to be like, oh, well, if they're going with Maclin, then why didn't they keep the title on him? Look, there's a reason why they're obviously doing this. I said if you guys haven't seen my TNA Hall of Fame video I made last Tuesday, I said, look, this might be the year of the Motor City Machine Guns going into the Hall of Fame. What we saw it against All Odds just proves my point even further that this could actually happen this year. Chris Sabin earlier in the night won the X Division Championship for the 9th time. Alex Shelley defeats Steve Maclin to become Impact Wrestling Champion for the first time. Is this the first time this has happened? I don't know. This might not be, but this is... Has there ever been a time where a major tag team in the same company, they're still a tag team, but they both won major singles championships? I don't know if that's ever happened. I don't think. It might have, but I don't remember. But look, I gotta see the Motor City Machine Guns both win their first world title. I saw Chris Sabin do it 10 years ago against Bully Ray. And for someone who might not be too familiar with them, or somebody that isn't a big fan of Impact, they're gonna be like, oh well, this should have happened on a bigger stage, or they should have just kept going with Maclin. Look, those are both valid points. Yes, I think this should have happened on a bigger stage. Maybe you could have waited till Slammiversary to do this and given Maclin another month with the belt, but at the same time, I'm not complaining, because if you're someone like me who grew up watching Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin, this is pretty cool, because now they're both the top champions in TNA, besides tag team titles. This is the first time they both, I think, held a championship in TNA where they weren't the tag team champions. This is the first time that any tag team, I think, have been a tag team still, but they've won singles titles, but which confirms, well, that doesn't confirm it, but it proves my point even further that this might be the year that they go into the Hall of Fame. Because you have them there. I don't know how long you're planning on keeping the titles on both of these guys. I mean, Alex might be a transitional champion for all we know, and Magnus might win it at Slammiversary, but I would hope maybe that they would maybe give him another month with it, or a couple months with it maybe, at least, but I don't know. But I can see why some people would be upset. Like, oh, Macklin is just a jobber. They wouldn't give it to him. They weren't going to keep it on him for long. Look, Steve Macklin, he's a heel, but I'll defend this right now. Steve Macklin has proven that he is more than capable of carrying a main event picture. Carrying the main event scene. He proved that last month when he bled buckets in the main event of their pay-per-view last month. Now, this match was good, so it kind of started off slow in the beginning, and then it picked up. So, there's a couple points in the match. Steve exposed the turnbuckle, but Alex was able to counter it. He hits sliced bread on the outside of the ring to Steve Macklin, and then gets him back in the ring, which is a smart thing to do, because you can't win the title on a count out. And he just drops Steve into the turnbuckle. Sorry, I don't give very good play-by-play, because I can't see what's going on, but he drops him back first into the turnbuckle, then he hits him with the clothesline from Hell, Michigan, I think, and then he goes face first into the turnbuckle. I don't know, Steve's going for something, and then Alex hits him with another faceplant into the turnbuckle that dazes him. He gets him up to his feet. They both hit super kicks on each other. Hits him into the turnbuckle again. Alex does. Hits him with the shell shock and wins the World Heavyweight title. Sorry, I don't know if I got that right or not. My commentary sucks, but I'll get it eventually. I might need to, I think once I get a braille note or something decent to write with, I'll take notes on these matches as they're happening, and which might help a little bit, but no, for somebody that watched the Motor City Machine Guns growing up, this is really cool. I'm not gonna complain. Yes, it could have happened on a bigger stage, like Slammiversary, or in front of a bigger crowd or something, but I'm not gonna complain. Just let the moment happen. You know, I've just decided that's probably gonna be what happens when Cody eventually beats Roman Reigns. Because eventually, I think it's gonna be Cody that takes it from him. I'm just gonna let the moment happen. You know, yeah, it sucks that they didn't do it at Mania, but when it does happen, I'm gonna be like, you know what? Good for Cody, you know? But, same thing here. Yes, I get it. Steve Macklin was a credible champion. You really believed that he was a credible champion. He was taking out authority people. He was taking out everybody, and then Alex Shelley beats him at Against All Odds, and Chris Sabin comes out to celebrate with him. That was fun. That was good. we'll see where this goes. We'll find out on Thursday. I'll be watching Impact, and then I'll be up here Friday morning, probably, for a review. And yeah, this is going to be the thing going forward. I'm going to be putting more content out. So I'm going to be doing 2 prediction videos instead of 1 this time. Maybe 3 if I do AEW. I don't know. I might just have to convert my predictions into 1 video, but no, I don't know. We'll figure it out. But overall, this is a good show. Great show. Great first one for me to watch live. So that was fun. And we'll see where this thing goes. I'm happy for the Motor City Machine Guns. Really am. They're my favorite tag team in TNA, so I can't complain. Well, next to Beer Money, but yeah. That is it for me. Let me know what you thought of this show if you watched it. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Were you upset with the finish of any of the matches? Let me know in the comments. And I will see you guys later. Sorry for my congestion. See you guys later this week.